Hello, 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 hello. I'm so excited to be here today. This is so awesome. So, we're having a really big day today, and I am going to tell you all about it. First of all, I just want to say I am Donalyn Riley, if you don't know already. So, I'm really your go to expert for creating authentic business, right? For creating a business you love being in, helping network marketers, independent salespeople, all sorts of online businesses to grow authentically, right? So that it feels good on the inside. That's what we're all about, right? So, and you actually get to be successful at it, right? So you do not want to miss today's topic. We're talking about 7 tips to be your true self while you practice service-based selling, no matter what product you sell. So a lot of people get those words kind of in a different order. We're going to talk about that. But before we dive into it, I just want to make sure I'm actually live in all these places and then tell you the super exciting news about how we got to be live in all these places. So let me just double check it all here. Let's see that we exist. Let's see, how do we see that if we exist? So let's see. We are, yes, yes, yes. So we're on Facebook, okay? We're on Facebook, in the Facebook group. If you go to Donalyn Riley, you'll find the link to Facebook group there. So you can just check that out, easy as can be. And my team is checking the other platforms for me, so I can just start telling you, thank you very much, I can just start telling you how cool this is. So the thing is that we have a Facebook group, and I have so many lovely people that I would like to serve, and not all of them love Facebook. Some of them love YouTube, and some of them love Periscope, and some love Instagram, and all of that. So in an effort to really be able to reach you where you are, for me to come to you, as opposed to you having to bend in order to get the information that I have, right? Because the information I have on how to do the thing that I've been talking about showing up as you and still being able to be successful, is really important, okay? And I know that it makes life a lot easier and a lot better. And so I want to make sure you have the information. So I'm here for you, very first time on Periscope, on YouTube, and we will continue to add platforms as we can. So I'm so glad to be here. Please, if you're joining me on one of the new networks that we're reaching out on, please put a comment in. Let me know you're there. If you're there on Facebook, absolutely let me know you exist out there, right? There's a whole like click the button for StreamYard thing. Do it, don't do it, whatever. I'm always going to catch up with you, okay? So do what feels good, what feels comfortable for you, and that way, I just lost my screen. Whoopsie. So that way, you'll know you. And that's something we're going to talk about today. So I'm always here for you, right? This is, if you've hung around me at all, you'll know that I'm here for you. That's why I do this, right? So feel free to reach out through private message, through email. All the information, if you don't have it, is on the website. You can join the email group so that you will get all these notifications of everything that is happening. Also, there's not tons of it. I only email once a week, so that's not so much for you to manage. But there's tons of opportunities that are unique to email if you want to do that. Either way, reach out and grab on to what we're going to talk about today. Okay? So I do want to mention that, of course, we're going to talk about 7 tips. And of course, now the 7th one is really the key to kind of putting it all together and loving all the parts of your work. And I know that could be a stretch for most people because most people who I talk to do not say they love all the parts of their work. So that's one of the things we're going to work on today. We're going to talk about how do you do that, right? How do you design a life, design a business, design a sales interaction that you adore and that actually works. So we're going to talk more about that today. All right, here we go. I'm too far away from you. I need to come closer to you. Can you feel that? Here I am. I'm closer now. So today we're talking about 7 tips to be your true self while you practice service-based selling, which I am going to teach you about, no matter what product you sell. Okay? So it doesn't have to be a service. So I bet you think service-based selling is for people who sell professional services, right? Like hairstylists or home repair and lawyers, that kind of thing, service professionals. But that is not at all what we're talking about today. Whether you sell products or you sell services or you're sell you, right? Maybe you are in the business of the services, no matter what you're offering, when you're selling something that you love, something from the heart, there should always be an air of service in your selling style. And I'm going to give you 7 tips to help you to serve your clients' best interests and to make sales at the same time. So like I said a minute ago, Donald Riley, business, professional, personal development, right? Personal development for your professional development. Helping online entrepreneurs, independent salespeople, independent sales reps, network marketers, grow your business through doing personal development work, right? So first I want to talk to you about, and this is not number 1, this is A, because I don't want you to get confused about the 7, right? So in A, first I want to talk to you about how to be your true self while you're making sales. So this is a really tricky thing, right? I mean, I probably have 12 books over there that teach you all the little skills about being able to sell, right? So it's like, it takes the you out of it, right? No, you do this, and then you do this, and then you say that, and then, oh, if you do this, if you pause at the right time, if you do, right? It's a complicated choreography that many, many people teach as sales. And what I want you to do, because I know that it's the way you get a life that you love, is to focus in on being your true self. It's also how people become superstar sellers, right? So you could be a really good salesperson off of a formula. You can. Absolutely. Some formulas work most of the time, but you can't be a superstar on a formula. Being a superstar is about being present, right? So this is how we're going to talk about how to be that true self. Because a lot of people think like, yeah, I know who I am. I'm good. I can do it. And then you put them in different situations and they behave differently. So that means there's some wobble, right? There's some wobble in there. So that's the first part of that sentence that I'm really getting at with why we're going to get to those 7 tips, right? About this exact thing. So also why service-based selling is the key to loving your business, no matter what product you sell. So this is a real flip on its head, because normally, especially when people sell products, normally they kind of pick a product and they say like, here, I'll pick something. Here we go. You pick a product and you say, yes, this jewelry is the jewelry for me. I think it's good and I am going to sell it, and it will be easy to sell because it's beautiful and it's purple and it's amethysts and it's the right price and it has stretchy and it's perfect. Everything about it, super easy to sell, right? Because you, the salesperson, have a list of features and benefits, right? And so most of the time, that's where it ends. People go like, yep, I got the thing and I can sell it to you. But in order to be able to really love your business, beyond loving the products, because next week your company could come out with a different product that you don't love so much, right? Or you could be standing in front of a customer that doesn't love it so much. And so the key really is about serving. It's about serving your client, right? And so that key word of service is really important, because most of the time, even people who are talking about service, they're usually talking about service as long as you buy something, right? And we need to take it a step further, right? We need to take it to the next level. So, tip number 1 is to prepare for your day. So I know that this may seem rudimentary, but the preparation that I'm going to suggest for you is really different than most people. So most of the time you'll hear things like, oh, you should get up and do your 27 things in your morning routine, and then you'll be ready. You got to do 10 minutes of this and 5 minutes of this, and you got to, do these tickety boo on all of these boxes. And that's not what I'm suggesting. The preparation that I'm talking about takes place before you get out of the bed. All of those other things that you like to do, you can still do all of them. You want to get up and work out for 10 minutes and write for 10 minutes and do all the things? Great. If you want to get up and not do any of the things, fine. Because this is the only thing that matters, is what you do before your head gets off that pillow. Okay? So after your eyes open, right? So I'm awake. You can close them again. I am awake, but I am not yet in the world. And in that space of time, that is when you set up your day. That is the only 3 minutes that has the most amount of power in your day. So you could take 3 minutes out of any other slice of your day, and it will not have nearly as much power in setting up how your day goes as that 3 minutes. So if you take those 3 minutes and you check your email and you respond to a few people, and you read a joke on your phone, I get it right to my phone, right? You could do that. And you do all of these little things that bring you into the world. It is unlikely that you are setting yourself up for a really good, successful day. But if you take those same 3 minutes, okay, and all you have to do is find things to appreciate, right? The air that you breathe is clean. I know a lot of people who live in areas where the air is not clean outside their house. So having clean air in your home is a really big gift, right? The pillow is comfortable, whatever it is that you can find to help yourself to feel better, right? To just feel good before you start having thoughts about email and Facebook and all of the little minutia of the world. Just take those 3 minutes, focus your mind in, and train yourself to feel good for 3 minutes. That's it. Okay. Number 2. Let me know if this is landing with you guys, okay? Comment if you can. I really love that. Oh, I'm so glad to see you guys. Oh, nice to see you, Timothy and Jesse, and I'm glad everybody's here, Regina. And I am sure that there are other people on YouTube, which I will learn how to see the comments at the same time, but I don't know yet. So number 2, tune into you, right? You won't know how to be your true self unless you tune into you, right? So when I was a young girl, I went to school, like most people. I went to a high school, and I liked to be in the plays, and I liked to do the acting, and I liked to do the dancing and the singing and the acting, and I was pretty good at it. And so eventually I got to go to a special school to do that. And at one point, one of my teachers said to me, you could probably do this acting thing if you wanted to really focus on it, right? And I thought about it for a minute. And what I noticed about me in that moment, in my 15-year-old self, was that every time I did a role in a play, I turned into somebody else in my private life, right? Every time. If she was a little snobby, I turned a little snobby. If she was a little down to earth, I turned a little down to earth, right? I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a sense of me that was solid, right? And so having that sense of you, it's not something that they teach in school, right? So you have to figure that out. And that is essentially right when my acting career that never was ended, right? Because I didn't want to feel like I don't know what's going to happen next, right? Because that's not a nice feeling. But sometimes we spend life going through that, letting emotions kind of throw us around the room every once in a while. And you have a choice, and there are ways to do that, to really get control over that. But that's for another talk, okay? So getting to know yourself is really, really important. So tip number 3 is, of course, how do you do that? How do you do that, right? So it's to practice yes and no so that you're comfortable with yourself and your preferences. So by practicing yes and no, some of you who've been around me a little while and have done some programs and things, you'll know that this is a big topic with me, that there are certain tools that you can use to really tune into yourself so that you can know what does yes feel like, what does no feel like. But I'm going to give you a really easy trick that you can do in your house today, okay? I want you to go over to the refrigerator and the cupboard and get out some food and ask yourself, do I love this food? And feel what happens in your body when you think that thought. If you've got an apple in front of you and you think, I love apples, does that feel like it fits? Or does it feel like, well, really, I just eat them because they're supposed to be good for me, right? This is how you can learn yourself with nothing but what's in your refrigerator. If you live by yourself, you might have mostly things you love, but there are still tricks we play on ourselves, belief systems that we have that play into, why do I have this thing in my house that I eat? For instance, I got one for you that's right in my cabinet right now. There are water chestnuts in a can because I think I want to like them. I don't like them, but I think I want to like them. Every time I see them in the can, I go, oh, I think I like those. I think I really like them. And then I get them out and I eat them and I don't like them. And then I wait a few months and then I buy another one, right? Because why? Because I'm still reminding myself that I don't actually like that. And there's some belief system in my mind that's saying you should, right? So there are things throughout your house that I'm sure you can put your hands on so that you can feel yes and no. And food is a really easy one because we're really opinionated about it. So it's a great place to start. How's everybody doing? Does this feel like, yes, you feel like you're getting this? This is nice. Okay, very good, very good. Tell me, is there a food in your refrigerator that you don't know why it's there? Put it in the chat and put it in the comments. I would love to hear about it because these are the ways that we delude ourselves, right? Dilute, not delude. So number 4, don't sell yourself. Be yourself. This is a really big distinction. So if you go on the internet right now and you type in something like, how to be authentic in your sales, blah, blah, blah. You will get a bunch of people telling you to sell yourself first. And they mean well. They do. But what they're talking about is sort of presenting yourself as product, right? And what I'm talking to you about is your ability to actually be yourself. So there's a really big distinction there, right? Because one is acting, right? Even though it's supposed to be authentic acting, It's still acting. It's a active presentation. The other is to actually be you, to know yourself so well that you're able to show up wholly and present in each moment. And then from there, we're going to do 5, 6, and 7. And if you're really present for them, the results are incredible. Okay? So, oh, parsnips. I think that is so funny. Parsnips are another one that some people love them, and some people just think they're supposed to love them. Oh my goodness. So number five, create trust from your prospects, right? Through relationship, not so that you can sell them something, right? But so that you can have a relationship. So this is another really big pivot from everything that you read out there. And normally when you talk about relationship selling, then they say, oh, first you have to say these 3 things in order to get a rapport. And then you have to say a sentence or 2 about this in order to create sort of a bond or a trust. And then you should establish your authority. You should make sure that you are seen as someone who knows something about the topic that you're talking about. And then you're able to start selling. And what I propose to you is that you make relationships to make relationships, okay? And then, yes, maybe there'll be product down the road, but that is not the purpose of the relationship. Because what happens when you meet somebody and you can feel it from the get-go, right? That they're going to sell you something and you're just waiting. Right? Have you ever had this happen? This happens to me all the time on Facebook, because people love to reach out to me and pretend that they're my friend. So they reach out to me and they go back and forth 2 or 3 times, and then they get to it, and then they get to it. Right? And then I go, that's why they contacted me. It would be far easier for me if they just contacted me in the beginning and said, hey, I have a product. I wonder if you'd be interested in it. Would you like to look at it? Right? But because they think they're supposed to be relationship selling, they're making a fake relationship in order to sell me something. And I know it. You know it. There's no trick to it, right? So I propose that you don't make relationships in order to sell people. I propose that you make relationships in order to have the relationships, right? So I ran a chain of stores for quite some time. And when we closed those stores, I had people reach out to me and say, and I had designed some houses and things like that. And they reached out to me and they said to me, wherever you're going, I want to know where you are. The same thing has happened for several people I know, where they work in one place and they have a set of customers. And then what happens? They, for some reason, have to change their job. They end up in a different store. Those same people in that same community find them and they want to work with them because there is an actual relationship, and sales and relationships only go together through service, which is what I'm about to teach you about. Okay. You can't make the bridge from, there is no bridge from we're having a relationship, I think you should buy the thing, right? But there is a bridge between we're having a relationship and you have a need. I think I know a solution for you. And that is service, because whether that solution is something you sell or is something someone else sells, you are serving your customer. Okay. So number 6, let me know how it's going out there. Sometimes I lose comments because my computer's not that fast. So yes. Okay. Yes. Presentation versus presence. That's exactly right. Very good. Great hack. Oh, good to see you here, Joanne. Thank you for joining us on YouTube on our very first time live streaming on YouTube. So number 6, there we go. Serve your client's best interest, not yours, and not your companies. Okay. So if you're selling a product that somebody else makes and you have the, job of selling that thing, you're still not, that is not who your boss is. You get confused. The boss is not the company. And in fact, the boss isn't even really you when it comes to service, right? Serving people means putting their needs above all of the minutia needs of your own and trusting that will fulfill what you need in the world, right? And it always does. I have seen it happen thousands of times now. Okay, so relationship selling means that you're in it for life. You're not in it for this sale. You're not in it for this one bracelet, right? You're not in it for today's party or today's sale. You're not even in it for this month's goal. You're not in it for that incentive that your company has set out for you, right? You're not in it for any of that. You cannot be and actually remain true to yourself, because when you put those kinds of goals ahead of the needs of your customers and satisfying the actual needs of your customers, you won't have customers that last a long time, right? They'll last a while as long as you have the thing. But as soon as they find it someplace else for cheaper, for, more the right color they wanted, whatever it is, okay, they'll leave you. But relationship selling never ends. As long as you create that bond, you get to keep that bond beyond, no matter what you're presenting in the world. So when you're steering someone to the right product for their need, then you have served them, okay? And even if it's less expensive, the minute they see you steer them towards something that fulfills their needs, but maybe isn't quite so expensive in your offerings, or you say to them, hey, do you want to hold on for a couple of days? Because I can process your order in about 2 or 3 days, and I'm going to get you an extra discount if you have the time to wait. And you, of course, it's their choice, right? Not yours. But the minute you put their needs above your own, their loyalty to you changes, because they know that you're on their team and you are actually on their team, which is really lovely, right? Okay. So number 7, I'm going long today. Number 7, here we go. I can do it. 7, serve your clients' interests, but not their preferences. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. So how you attract clients and sell to them is entirely up to you. So a lot of times when you're working for a bigger company, or even if you're working for yourself and you read the books about how do you make the sales, and you have mentors and they are like, yes, all you have to do is do the Facebook Live and do the this and do the that and jump through all the hoops, and then you'll be able to do what I did, except that it never works for you. You try, you either can't do it because it feels icky inside, or you do it and it still doesn't land exactly right. That is because your path is your path. It isn't somebody else's. And it's always lovely to read about other people's experience in the world, don't get me wrong, and to hear and to relate to other people doing a job in a way that seems interesting to us, but you cannot copy it because it's not yours. So being able to go within to get those answers, being able to access your yes, your no, your heck yes, your I really want to do that. That sounds like fun, then that is how you are going to attract your clients, right? So how you attract them and how you sell to them, that's entirely up to you. The piece that is about serving your clients is about putting their needs above the bottom line, no matter what. And it works every single time, right? So if you're not comfortable on Facebook Lives, don't do them. If you're not comfortable going on Zoom, don't do them. If you're more comfortable sending emails out, then that's for you. But find what feels good which is the part that we really focus on a lot in this group. Oh, goodness. Hopefully I'm coming back. We really focus on this a lot in this group because it is the key to know you, right? Otherwise, you have to follow everybody's formulas and it doesn't usually work out. So if you guys have questions, now is the time to put them in the chats. And it looks like I'm getting them from the other platforms and everything. So because I am here to serve you, right? So if you ask your questions, if you express yourself in this forum where we are together, then we can be really having a conversation and you can get the value that you need out of this, because that really is the point of me sitting here doing this with you, right? So feel free to put any questions in the chat, and if I don't get to them today, which I think I will, but sometimes there's tech issues, always feel free to reach out to me on social media or on through any of the channels that we're on, or through email and on the website and all of that. Yes, so I'm just checking in with comments really quick, and let's see where we are. Yep. I think it doesn't load sometimes. So that's the way it is. If anybody would like to send me a really expensive computer, I'm okay with that. Otherwise, I'll just have to check them up as we go. There we go. Now they're coming through. Very good. Very good. Yay. So Kathy says, I feel like I'm putting the client first, but I need more client generation. So this goes back to the part that we talked about just a little bit ago, where we talked about the way that you are showing up in prospecting is part of the customer relationship. It's part of that generating and attracting clients. So there are, of course, lots and lots of ways to attract clients that are sort of traffic generation and things like that. Making sure that you put you in it is the real trick there, right? To be sure that you're not doing things that you think you have to do, because there are no things that we have to do. It's a brave new world here. There are no things that we absolutely have to do, right? There are things that we want to do, and there are things that we can get help doing if they need to be a part of a business, like how do you collect the money and things like that, right? We could get help with that. So really put your hat on and ask yourself, what feels like the absolute right place for me to go to talk to people who I know are going to connect with this information? And then create the relationships that get you there, Kath. So that is my advice on that one. And oh, okay. Yes. So Jessie says, I see you have added new platforms to meet the needs of your clients. That's right. How does that mesh with not feeling comfortable in certain aspects of media? Well, the truth is, I kind of love being on camera. So for me, this is a really nice way to get to relate to people. I love even more to be in a room where I can see you guys too. But this format for me is much more authentic to me than, say, writing a long form email. I can write. I have written in my life. I do write sometimes. You'll find that sometimes I go on in an email, but I do it as I'm inspired, and it doesn't come quite as easily as just plunking myself in front of a camera and getting to be with you and getting to go back and forth with you. So for me, I really love and use YouTube quite a lot. And I have been hearing such good things about Periscope that I really wanted to give that a try and see how does that feel? Because sometimes you have to try things before you know. But either way, I love that it gets to go through this little portal that I have, and that I get to connect with people I haven't been connecting with before. And that is really a nice thing. So that's how I think that fits. And that's the part that you got to decide in you, like, do I love that? Do I love being on camera? Yes. If I could have put myself on Instagram at the same time today, I would have. I love it. It's okay. Right? Okay, so if there is nothing else, oh, I adore being here with you guys, and I love getting to answer your questions and being connected to you in service, right? So, like I said, feel free to reach out anytime. And remember that my business goal is to serve you, right? It's to make your business easier and better, and for as many of you as possible. So always feel free to invite anyone you think you would get value out of it into the Facebook group, to like and ding the bell on the subscribe button, and to let people know if you think it might be for them. So thank you so much. And I will see you next week, same time, same places, maybe more.